Another aspect of AFG, adventure, friendship, growth, could be summed up in the phrase the little picture, the big picture, and the really big picture. The little picture is mastering taking care of your own needs on a river trip so that you stay warm enough, you get enough food, you get enough sleep. And so for a guide, this is crucial, but also for participants. Everybody needs to learn how to take care of their little picture. And the big picture for a guide is seeing not just their own raft and their own picture, but realizing that they're part of a whole team and they're looking around and seeing the whole trip, and the whole trip needs to move from land to river at the put in, and needs to move from river onto the river beach for lunch. And a bunch of things have to all happen for that to be smooth. And then the whole group needs to move from lunch beach back onto the boats, and then at camp the whole group needs to move into camp, and lots of it all depends on the type of trip and the base camp and everything, or whether it's a wilderness camp. So hundreds of thousands of little things have to happen, and if a guide only focuses on his little picture, that's not enough. The more all the people on the trip can start seeing the bigger picture and they feel a part of something bigger. And when everybody understands this, the whole progression of a trip becomes so smooth. It becomes like a dance. It's just kind of magical. Something special happens. And then that brings us to the really big picture. And this is something that is kind of a twofold aspect of life. On the one hand, we're in this amazing world. Look at the beauty of nature. Look at the beauty of the water tumbling down the river. And look at the potential within each of us humans. It is godlike, the potential. And it's Eden-like, the beauty of nature. And so on the one hand, we're almost godlike in our potential, and we're in this beautiful place. On the other hand, look at any newspaper, look at any newscast, and you see so much pain and sadness and grief, anger. There is so much sadness and suffering in the world that it can actually, if you really let that enter your consciousness, you suddenly can't even see all that potential and all that beauty. It becomes flat. And so on the one hand, that beauty and that potential is real. On the other hand, all that sadness and suffering and pain is real. So it's kind of the human condition on this planet, the really big picture. And so what's the point of being aware of it? Well, it would be nice to have a solution, but I don't. However, I have a suggestion, and that is kindness. Be aware that everyone we meet, including ourselves, are wrestling with this giant dilemma in life. And bear that in mind. The battles, they could be beautiful but feel ugly. They could be look totally healthy but be in pain. You just don't know the battles that people are facing. And so a suggestion is practice kindness with everybody. And to do that and look for ways to nurture, to make them, just to be nice to them, welcome them, and do that for yourself too. Be kind to yourself as well, and realize that we are often our own harshest critics. So uplifting, so important to realize that we all have this giant challenge of the really big picture, all the potential, all the beauty, and all that pain and suffering. And let it be a reminder um, to you to uh, reach out and create a supportive environment and be nurturing to oneself. And one of the amazing kind of magical things is that in the context of a river journey, when a river guide has that awareness, you don't have to actually talk about it, but you can simply have that awareness and have that goal of creating a nurturing environment, a kind environment for the people around you. And you combine that with the amazing, just inherent adventure and beauty of a river trip, and it enhances it. It literally, when you're practicing AFG and you're aware of that really big picture as a guide, it can transform. The river's already beautiful, but there's something happens. The colors, the greens of the vegetation, the magic of that moving water, uh, literally just becomes more absolutely vivid and incredible.
Great. Thank you.
All right.
That all around.